Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Zim video. I'm the Zim, artist and musician from Seattle, Washington, and this is what I'm calling my dream building journal. This is part or episode 174, my dream building journal, which rebranded last week. It used to be called the Zim's video journal. Now it's called the dream building journal, and what I'm doing is I'm documenting the journey for me, what I have to do, what I believe I have to do to go from here to touring with my music, be it my solo music or with my band, theZim and Arock, or I should say. That's my goal. The way I see it, I am going to start on the journey myself because I'm living in San Diego now. Arock is still in Seattle. Time, space, money, all that stuff is creating it so that I just can't just say let's go on tour right now. So what am I trying to do? The ultimate goal is to tour with my band, but I'm going to start touring more with solo first and see where it builds. So that's the goal, that's the journey, that's what I'm on. Last week I started to plan out a little bit of how I believe I need to accomplish that, and so as we go along I'll add to that list of things I need to do to accomplish it, but also tell you what I have done. And so I've already, within the span of the week, it's already changed. Priority has shifted. And the one thing I've been talking about a lot these days is the importance of your audio, the music, the importance of the quality of your audio. And as you know, I don't feel like I've ever achieved, well, except for the song No Snow, which started this whole thing, which is what kind of got me on this whole, really locked in the whole journey for me. When I had a producer work on No Snow, and I got it back, and I was just like, oh my god, this is what I've been missing my whole life in terms of my music, is having somebody help me push my sound to the place where I want it to be. So I was really stoked on that, and so I'm all in now on finding people to help me with my music. So, you know, when I go on tour, when I start playing shows, I want to have the audio that's representing me be as good as I need it to be and want it to be. So, whereas last week I made a goal to have a merch box by this week, what I ended up doing was working way more on logistics and working out how to get the audio cleaned up and worked on to a place that I feel comfortable with. And so what I've decided to do, since I have all the Zim and Arock music, there's 11 songs that we did as part of the Peace and Love volumes, and I was never totally happy with the mixes. I think Peace and Love volume 3 was the best. It's 1 through 4, and it goes Peace and Love volume 1, 2, and 4 all have 2 songs. Peace and Love volume 3 has 6 songs, 5 songs, 6, I don't know, something. Do the math, I don't know, whatever. But anyways, I did the best job mixing on that third volume, but it's still not the best. But when I listen back, I'm just like, the mixes are okay maybe, but the mastering, I don't know, there's something in that whole process of the finishing the audio is just not that good. But they're there, their songs are great, they're close enough in the point they are that if I hopefully have somebody work on them and fix them up for me, they'll be better. And then it's like, well, and then I was thinking about, well, I need to have a product for people to take home and stuff. And it's like, well, these are already done. Now let me just clean them up, and then I want to make a actual physical product. I'm not sure what that'll look like. My mind vision is to go through like disc makers or something and actually get some press that look high quality. But if I have to, I'll just buy blank CDs and make a stamp. But the end result will be some kind of physical product that I can sell at shows and have for people and give away even, that represents me the way I want to be represented. So I started on that journey this week, and so I hired a producer to take those 11 songs that are on Bandcamp right now. I'm going to get them all remixed and mastered and then put them out as a single volume. And then, so that's what I'm working on. So I don't know how long that'll take, but I've started that process, hired my producer, and then now I just have to do a bunch of computer stuff on my end to be able to send them all the files because of the way all that stuff works. So I'm working on that. But I also have 2 more producers in line because, as you know, I've been working on writing a song a month now that I'm down here in San Diego, and I've been failing on the like finishing up and publishing side of things. So what I just decided to do was start paying people to help me with those. And so I've scheduled out a couple more producers to work on a couple of those songs. They're months out, like October and November, but hopefully if things kind of keep going, I'll be able to afford it and it will all happen. That's the biggest obstacle. So there's a combination. So that's what I've decided to do. That's where I'm going. I haven't really set a goal for next week. I might make it, I'll just make my goal for next week actually having that merch box, like I said about this last week. So merch box goal, that's my goal for next week. So you and I can keep you can help me stay accountable for this journey. So that's that. So with the whole idea of money and time and things like that, I've been thinking about it a lot. And I've talked about this before, but it's just, those are the two biggest obstacles. Money and time are the two biggest obstacles for me to achieve this goal of mine. Because in time, it's just, I just have to spend so much time not working on this. So I have to be patient and be okay with the fact and hope and cross my fingers that what I'm doing is the correct thing to be doing and enough to help me move forward toward those goals. Because what I know and what I preach all the time through my podcasts and on these journals is you just need to devote like massive amounts of time to whatever goal it is you have in order for it to be achieved and successful. And I know I don't have the amount of time that I would want to devote toward it or should for it to become an actual reality. And so I'm just hoping that maybe I'm doing enough so that maybe by the time I do have the time, I can just amplify it even more, and everything I've done up to that point will just help propel it even more and just kind of go. So time is a big thing. And then how that matters to money, because it ties directly to money for me, because the money part of it is I can't devote my time to my music and art because I need to make money. And if I had more money, there's a combination of factors. The money factor is, if I just had more money, the time factor wouldn't matter as much, because I could do what I'm trying to do with the producers, is pay people to help me, know what it is I need, pay them to help me. So my time, my own personal time needs go way down. But since I don't have the money to pay them, so I have two obstacles, time and money. And so that's where I'm standing. That's where it is. I think hopefully I got the point across there. So I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate through that, because also the money factor is making enough to survive, and I just have a lot of other demands, so at times I feel guilty for wanting to put money toward this, because I know there's other things, like my kids need things, where do I draw the line? Where is the line that I'm allowed to devote money toward the things that I want out of my life, and then the things that my kids needs and the household needs and life needs. And the bottom line is, it's frustrating, is honestly what it is. It's frustrating to try to figure that out, because I have such a narrow place to live in that world. There's not it's just decisions have to be made. So it's like, do I sacrifice everything I need to do to make me feel good about life for my family and kids, or do I try to find a balance? Or I know I don't feel like I do anything to sacrifice their needs. I know that their needs are met, but it usually comes at the sacrifice of anything that makes me feel good. So that's kind of where things lie in that world. And that's basically it for the Dream Building Journal this week. Worked on producers for my music to help alleviate the time. Unfortunately, it costs money. So, it's a trick. And then we set our goal again. So next week, I think the goal will be finding a merch box and starting to get that set up. So we'll watch this together and make that happen. Yeah. And then, so if you want to help if you have any interest in helping on this journey, I'll link it up below. But I do this podcast called We're on the Street, and it's a podcast about the Northwest and Seattle music community. And in that, the website, WOTSpodcast.com, there's a couple links on the side. One is a Patreon for the podcast, which is also for me. So if you decide you want to support this journey, you could support the podcast and it will help this journey. So that's one thing. Or there's also a PayPal button on the side there. If you wanted to put some money toward this journey for me, with me, just click the PayPal button and send over some money. It'll help me pay for producers and all that kind of stuff to help me continue this journey. So, and if you have any questions for me regarding what I've been talking about, feel free to post comments in this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it. Awesome if you shared it. Subscribe to the channel, all those things. Alright, so until next week, I'll catch up with you again next week. Alright, peace.